vlog. He's still sleeping, so I don't want to talk too loudly, but I'm going to boil some water and make my hot lemon ginger water. I don't have a tea kettle yet. I want to thrift one, so I use a pot right now. This is my first time having a gas stove. I used to have an induction oven, and I don't know how I feel about it. I'm still getting used to it. I did light something on fire the other day. I can't remember what. All I remember was there was flames. But nothing burned down, so that's a win. This is my hot lemon ginger water mug. I designated certain mugs for certain things. I don't know if anyone else does that. This green mug, lemon ginger water only. Like, I don't really use it for anything else. So I just take some ginger and cut a little knob off it, and then I cut that in half. That goes in my mug. I also need a lemon, and the AC just kicked on. I finished making my water. It's literally just a squeeze of lemon ginger and then a pinch of sea salt, but I almost forgot to take out my homemade blueberry bagel dough that I did yesterday, and it rose amazingly. It's beautiful. I'm so happy with it. But now it just needs to rest at room temperature, and then I'll punch it down, shape it, and we're having blueberry bagels today. So I'm just gonna drink my ginger water while I do my little morning lineup. I do Sudoku. I love starting my mornings off with this. I just like doing these anywhere. They get me off my phone and they kind of challenge my mind a bit. I've been doing this since I was a kid and I love Sudoku. I'm also currently reading To Kill a Mockingbird. His mom actually gave it to me and I've been really enjoying it. I'm actually almost done it. I forgot to put my bookmark back in it last night, but I remember the chapter I'm on. And then I'm gonna do some journaling. This journal is one that my sister actually just got me for my birthday. I just started it, like I'm only this far in. But I'm gonna do some journaling, and then this is my to-do list journal. So I'm gonna write a little list for today. So I created my very rough to-do list. That's kind of how I make my list. I just put little one-word things so that I can cross them off. And it makes me feel like I've been productive and like I've accomplished something in my day, which I really like. But I think my pen is almost out of ink, which is so sad because I love my pens and I need to buy more, I think. Because I have this one that's almost out, and I have this one that's probably also almost out. And then I have like one or two other ones, but they're not as good, and I also don't know where they are. And I also think they're running out of ink, so I just need to buy more pens. I'm gonna start dealing with my dough now. I need to punch it down and then shape it into balls and shape it into bagels and then boil them and then bake them. This is what they look like before they've been boiled or baked. Look, they're done. They actually did not turn out too bad. I feel like sometimes the holes look a little wonky, but For a bagel, homemade, I've made them before, so this isn't my first time. They look pretty good.
Across the French frontier and entertaining him most royally in Bourges. Yes, and he has no grounds for complaint, damn it. Bourges is King Charles VII's capital. What? You hadn't heard? All Paris has known about it since yesterday in an offhand manner. Come now, don't pretend you are not pleased. Admit that you're glad to hear it, to have it. Yeah, well, yes, so I am. As a fashion accessory, a medal looks quite fine on a high-buttoned black frock coat. Very elegant. And, Morquef said, smiling, it makes one look like the Prince of Wales or the Duke of Reichstadt. My dear Viscount, how lucky you are to have nothing to do. You really can't tell nothing to occupy you what? The minister's private secretary engaged simultaneously in the great from his battlefield with his swords and his victories, enjoying an which you refuse to sell, and a tailor who never fails to make you a perfect pair of trousers. 4 years. I'm quite ready to follow your advice as soon as I see a government that is guaranteed to last at least 6 months. Now one word, dear Albert, because I must give poor Lucien a chance to draw breath. Are we to have breakfast or lunch? I'm expected in the house, as you see. All is not roses in our profession. Just breakfast. We're a Montmorency and the diplomat a Metternich. We would still take breakfast at exactly my mind off this morning. Well, you are just like Debray. I would have thought that when the government is sad, the opposition would be merry. You don't realize, old man. What is it? He votes for your side. He's in the opposition. Damnation, that's the worst thing about it. That's why I'm waiting for you to move him into the upper house, where I can laugh at him as much as I like. My dear, Albert said to the Count, it's plain to see that the Spanish business is settled. Girls are talking about a marriage between myself and Mademoiselle Eugene Danglars. For that reason, I cannot, in all consciousness, allow. So he does eat, then, your extraordinary man. If he does eat, it is too little to be worth mentioning. You see, he's a vampire. Laugh if you wish. That was precisely the opinion of Campire, the very thing. A savage eye with a pupil that is dilated or contracted at will, said Debray. Highly developed facial angle, splendid forehead, livid color, black beard, teeth white, and point for the stroll through the ruins of the Colosseum to suck your blood, Morquef asked Beauchamp. And after setting you free, didn't he make you sign some fiery colored parchment by which you ceded him your soul, like Isis, his birthright? Mock, as much as you wish, gentlemen, said Morquef, a trifle irritated, except for his little understanding with Italian bandits. Huh? There are no Italian bandits, said Debray. No vampires, Beauchamp added. And no Count of Monte Cristo, concluded Debray. Listen, my dear Albert, half-pendant and Germain announced, His Excellency, the Count of Monte Cristo. All those present started, despite themselves, in a way indicating that Morquef's story had touched something deep inside them. Even Albert could not avoid feeling faintly shocked that he had heard no sound of a vehicle in the street, or a step in the antechamber, and even the door had opened silently. The Count was framed in it, dressed with the greatest simplicity, but most demanding of dandies, would not have found anything to criticize in his appearance. Everything, clothes, hat, linen, was in perfect taste and came from the finest suppliers. He seemed to be barely 35 years of age, and what struck everyone was how closely he resembled the portrait that Debray had sketched. Le Comte, Albert replied. I was just announcing your imminent arrival to a few of my friends. He voluntarily stepped forward, and a faint touch of red passed like a flash across his pale cheeks. Perhaps, but I never would society which does not protect me. Indeed, I might add, which generally takes no heed of me except to do me harm. And, since I hold them low in my esteem and remain neutral towards them, I believe that society and my neighbor are in my debt. At last, Chateau Renard exclaimed. Comte, Monsieur, asked Montague that. Savage, you use Monte Cristo as your family name, and Sinbad the Sailor as your Christian name, and yet, look what happens on the very day you set foot in Paris. Instinctively, you possess the finest and worst quality of us eccentric Parisians, which is to lay claim